Welcome again, Keepers of Light, and I call you that because you are just that. Keepers of Light. I am presently working with this crystal. Started working with it yesterday. It was sent to me by my ascension partner, Dona, who you've likely heard me mention before. And it's powerfully energetic crystal. And I'm incredibly grateful to you, Donna, for sending these crystals to me. It wasn't just this one that Donna sent. It was several crystals, not just several crystals, a lot of crystals. And if you yourself find yourself called to working with Donna, then I will put a link to this recording at the bottom of this recording. And I wanted to pick up from what I was saying in the last few videos that I've created. The last one in particular was more about lucid living and how I have been and have been from the beginning and onset of this channel, been recruiting you guys for this purpose and mission to keep the light. And in many ways, how you come to a point where you keep the light is first to be able to connect to the light that is within you. It is coming to a formal understanding of what that actually means. And it will mean different things to you all, but it will serve the same purpose for the collective of keepers of light. And I'm not meant to be heard by everybody. I'm meant to be only heard by the certain people who are at this particular time ready to receive the energetics that I am directly receiving as an indirect effect upon listening to the words that I offer here and the activations that I offer and the reconfigurations to energetics that I offer here. And lucid living itself is it, it help me guides. Lucid living is the new way in which the human being is graduating into its way of beingness. Because there is like a upgrade to the technology, and we're going to actually be seeing more and more unveiling of just the extent to technology that is here. There are many hidden technologies that are available to us that we have no idea about, and all of this is going to be coming out into the open. Although we do have contact with, let's say, AI, like we have contact with AI, and we're starting to see how there's robotics and things of that nature that are kind of seeking to seep into the workings of our everyday life, and they are translating into that way where now we're seeing structures crumble, because in many ways they're crumbling because they're the pace of life that we are in is speeding up, and the human being is also speeding up. The so okay, so so the densities that we're in, we're moving away from those densities. And even if you resist or try to resist, it won't necessarily work. Or maybe we could say that it will work, and that you wind up repetitively living within a box of holding on to what you are feeling as though is of comfort to you, which itself will not be a comfort to you anymore, in the context that it won't be as it won't be solving it won't be life supporting as it once was, or it won't be experienced as life supporting as it once was. And that's because the rest of your the perception of your reality is the perception of reality will be expanding to incorporate higher frequencies. So what's happening is that the denser frequencies are kind of being like pushed out of the system, the human system, and it shows up in these ways where now there are challenges being presented to the human being in terms of making adjustments to the thought and thinking and belief patterns that I've kind of consistently been talking about up until now, that I'll continue to until I don't need to anymore. So the idea is that every single person will be touched in some particular way by being by feeling the push of these energies, and how it translates into like the 3D perspective is that there'll be a 3D representation of things, seeking to adjust, seeking to change. And it won't just be touching upon like one area of your life, it'll be touching upon like all areas of life. For some, because it'll vary from person to person because of the karmic nature by which we all have incarnated through. And so, even awareness itself, when I talk about awareness and how it's important for us to expand our perception of reality so that we're expanding our perception of awareness of the nature of reality itself, every single soul has its own set point of discovery of its own life journey as intended by its soul's purpose. And so my journey will look different from yours, and and yours will look different from mine, and blah 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 blah. So why am I saying all this? So here we are, we're undergoing a cosmic change. It's a shift because we're shifting from lower frequency sense of human beingness to a higher frequency sense of human beingness. And as we do so, we now expand into the awareness of more of the extent of the perceptions of reality, reality that are available to us, because now we are, in essence, incorporating our perception of reality to include more of that which is available to experience. So, at a cosmic level, we are also expanding into allowing other dimensions of realities to to interrelate with other dimensions of reality. And so, in that way, it can be said that we are expanding our awareness of our multidimensionality. And here we are experiencing having to let go of structures that aren't working anymore. And in many ways, it's also in conjunction to the upgrade of the technologies that we're experiencing on the outer realm. When you're looking at the AI and you're looking at the robotics and you're looking at all these ways in which we're going to be seeing how technology itself is going to start to really be, like mind blowing. The objective that I have, that I've been presented with, is helping the human being to also upgrade its human tech, because there has been an underuse of the extent of capability that the human being is and has been given the apparatus to utilize. And the way in which we get to that point where we are lucidly living, it is a way of learning how to reperceive who we are entirely in the first place. And at the same time, in order for us to begin to make sense of the changes that are happening in ways that will actually be helpful to us, as opposed to continuing to find ways of perceiving reality that are perceiving realities in ways that things are destructive to us, we have to be able to allow ourselves to surrender into the moment as it presents itself as an opportunity for adjustments, to change in the first place. We have to be able to let go of the resistance that we have towards change in the first place. We have to be able to let go of perceptions about the nature of reality, which aren't necessarily holding to the stabilization of the newer reality that is seeking to present itself to us. And this newer reality is called by many people the new earth. It does not exist anywhere else except, here and now. As is with everything in every experience, the focal point is always here and now. Yet the human being will resist change because the programming has been to be in a state of survival. And in this state of survival, you do not have access to those parts of the human being, the technology that is the human being, the upgraded technology that is the human being. Did I say that right? So we're not just surface people. There's a level of deeper and deeper levels of depth within each and every single human being. And it is beyond the perception of the body. And in this on this channel, I circle back to this same message over and over again. And I let me see, do I want to leave anything here? Leave with the message here? Any big message that I want to leave with? I'm going to repost an activation because the guys are kind of showing me that the another activation that I had done a year ago will serve its purpose here and now, at its highest capacity. And this is because that particular channeling and that particular activation was more so about lifting away from the perception of who. It will help to accelerate and to reconfigure your systematic beingness to be more allowing and accepting of the true nature of who you are. It will allow you to tap into the bigger picture of perception of yourself and yourself, so that you can begin to more solidly tap into your connection to your soul. So yeah, I'll post that. I'm gonna post that. I wanted to not make this video too long. I kind of don't have that much time to record today, but I did want to, and I feel like I'm just going to take a moment to just search a little bit and see whether or not there's like a more cohesive message that can come through in the next couple of minutes, for us. So yeah, the what I'm seeing is how it's always going to be that the here and now is the most important aspect of all things, and that it is always the here and now that experiences is being had. And so the the suggestion that I'm the suggestion that I'm hearing is how important it is to bring ourselves back to the now moment. And that even as you're listening to these recordings, and how it is possible that you will be confronted with so many different reflections and so many different interpretations, not one of them is more correct than the other. All of them are correct in their own right and way, because depending upon where they're coming from, they do have justifiable means of being of having been put into existence. And so it's not necessarily that you should ever go to me or come to this channel or go to any source of information and seek for it to be more correct than another. It's more so that the correctness is found from within your own sense of measure of correctness. So to look outside of yourself for an answer never really presents as a guiding post to what is next for you. It can only serve to establish a continuing point to that which is thought to be continued on the outer realm. But if we're looking to adjust and change ourselves to be more reflective of the changes that are happening at this cosmic level, it is important now that we learn how to connect back into ourselves in the now moment, to connect into the idea of perceiving the actual nature of reality that exists outside of the resistance point that we experience from within ourselves and within our human minds. So, keepers of light, what I'm saying to you is that you're becoming lucid livers. You're becoming lucid beings in this reality. You're becoming aware of yourself as being a point of consciousness that is establishing experience from within its internal tech to determine internal tech that determines its desire. And in this way, keepers of light, because you are able to participate here and that you are able to connect yourself back into your point of higher consciousness perspectives, you are at the forefront of this evolutionary change and upgrade to human consciousness. And because you are here to hold, to keep the light and to hold the light. While, because by doing so, you create the structure by which and the foundation by which this new earth is being birthed. And so you serve in a very important role. And I am here looking forward to working together in this mission. Until next time.